How does NATO work? Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty is undoubtedly its most important feature. It's the one that says that an attack against one member state is an attack against all, and promotes the right for each nation to exercise something called collective self-defense. Even though NATO was a massive alliance all the way back to its foundation in 1949, Article 5 has only been invoked once, in response to the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001. Incidentally, that operation just ended after 13 years, on December 28, 2014. Within the political infrastructure of NATO, two individuals govern the alliance. First is the Secretary General, who is the person that the public would most associate with NATO. He is their chief bureaucrat, diplomat, and politician. He leads the North Atlantic Council, which is NATO's official decision-making body. By custom, and probably by secret agreement, the Secretary General has always been European. The current one happens to be from Norway. The reasoning behind this is well thought out. NATO's chief challenge is wrangling diverse states across Europe and trying to build a consensus or formulate a long-term vision. It would not do to have an American come across the ocean only to insert themselves into European politics. Better to have a veteran European politician do it. The current Secretary General happens to be an ex-Prime Minister, which is perfect. The military arm of NATO is run by a different individual. This person's called the Supreme Allied Commander Europe. Like the Secretary General, this position is relegated to one geographic region. This person is always American, and I think that we can all guess why. The actual position of Supreme Allied Commander in Europe is really interesting. Unlike the Secretary General, this person is answerable to both the North Atlantic Council and also the President of the United States. He has two jobs. He is equally NATO's top commander and a regional commander within the American military hierarchy. He is in charge of the United States' European Command, which places him in command of all American troops in Europe. He is simultaneously in charge of NATO's Allied Command operations, which places him in charge of all NATO troops worldwide. This specific example of extreme American influence is why the former National Security Advisor Zbigniew Brzezinski has called the European NATO states almost formally America's protectorate. Those are harsh words, but it's true. NATO's institutions have been brilliantly constructed, which makes it impossible for anything meaningful to happen without the consent of a man or woman who is directly subordinate to the President of the United States.